Welcome to Tarot by Brev. Today we're going to be doing another unboxing, this time the Lord of the Rings Tarot deck by Tyson Books. Very exciting, combining two of my favourite things, the Lord of the Rings and Tarot. Cards written by Casey Gilly, 78 card deck and fold out guide. Sounds like it follows the standard format for a tarot deck. That's the size of the box. If you're looking to buy this, it's the one that's 10 centimeters by 15, 10 by 15. Feels good, feels weighty in the hands, got that nice rattle to it. Well covered, well wrapped. Let's get into it. I've had these sat on my shelf for a couple of weeks now, just kind of calling to me, waiting for me to open them up and have a look inside, and I've finally got the time. So let's get the cellophane off. Check that to one side, and then let's get into the box. So it's quite a nice box, a little bit of texture to it almost. There's some nice illustrations on the front. There we go, illustrated by Thomas Hijo. And we've got the box coming apart. There we are. So inside, the Lord of the Rings Tarot deck and guide. And this little tab here, little ribbon tab to pull that out. And I'm assuming that on the top is the guide. Oh, the book, and then the cards deck look like they're in there, so just put those to one side for a second and we'll focus on the book. It's the Lord of the Rings Tarot deck and guide, and it's kind of a, it looks like it's a big sort of fold out manuscript, and this reminds me of one of my early copies of the Lord of the Rings book that had a big fold out map of Middle Earth inside. I wonder if that's been the inspiration for this. So it's going to be fun to get this all on camera. I'm going to manage that, but it looks as though, yes, each of the cards has a picture on this manuscript with some description. Let's just pick one. See what we can do. So the moon, Galadriel's mirror. On the surface of the still waters within the mystic basin, the moon's reflection can be seen. Galadriel's mirror conceals mysteries, showing things that may or may not come to pass, and leaves you to marvel at the illusions. And then obviously how you can read the card upright and reversed. So on this fold-out thing, each of the major arcana is illustrated, and then the minors look like they're just in smaller descriptions, like that. And I can see a small departure here already from the traditional deck setup. We've got a suit called Rings. Should have guessed that was coming, really, shouldn't we? Then on the reverse of all of this, looks like we have a couple of spreads, suggested spreads. So a trilogy spread, a second breakfast spread. That sounds like a lot of fun. If you find yourself in need of nourishment or are feeling drained, this spread can help you identify how to reclaim your energy. So that's nice. You know, it's kind of well put together, well thought out. It kind of has the right feel. I'd say it's not the most practical thing because it's a huge poster. So if you're going to use it as a reference sheet, it's a little bit unwieldy compared to a book, but it's nice, and it's good quality paper. Feels like it's robust. It's almost like a parchment, like a map. Let's pop that to one side for a minute, and let's get into the actual cards themselves. So you see here this ribbon kind of keeps them all in place. There's no binder or plastic seals around them, which is nice. Which means the cards, literally as you lift them out, are going to be ready to be looked at. And as per normal, the Fool is card 0, the first card that we see. So let's put the box and the guidebook to one side a second, and we'll have a little bit of a flip through of these. So Frodo Baggins there off on his journeys. After the Fool we have the Magician. I'm sure no surprise to see a representation of Gandalf there. The High Priestess. The Empress. The Emperor. The Hierophant. The Lovers. The Chariot. In the wheelbarrow with the pumpkins. Strength. Gimli and his axe. The Hermit. Possibly Bilbo doing some work on the manuscript. The Wheel of Fortune. Bringing the imagery from the Shire. And the imagery on these cards is, it's kind of classic Tolkien. The Hanged Man. Reflection of Schmeagol. Gollum. Holding the ring. Death, Mount Doom. Temperance. The Devil. One of the 9. The Tower. And the Star. The Moon. Galadriel's Mirror. The Sun. Judgment. The Horn of Gondor. And the World. I think that's all of the major arcana. So yeah, really nice symbolism, imagery, plenty to look at and kind of get involved with. Very classic structure, so if you're used to the sort of Rider-Waite style decks, this will be instantly familiar and instantly usable for you. I should have spoken maybe about the card stock. And you can see it's pretty decent. And individual cards themselves are just over 7 centimeters by 12. So decent size. Compared to a normal size playing card, they're substantially bigger. You get the idea of that. 2 hearts there. You see how much bigger these tarot cards are to a normal playing card. So far so good. Let's get into the minors. So we have, here we go, Departure of the Ace of Rings. And then it's set up starting from the King. I'm assuming we're going to work backwards on it. Oh no, they're just going to put the court cards first. So we've got the King, Saruman there, King, Queen, Knight, and Page. And then I'm assuming, so we've got 2. These look like they go sort of pip cards, sort of a Deck de Marseille style tarot where there's not individual drawings on each card, but there are pips. So you've got the 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So not illustrated, but clear as to what they are. So it just looks as though in each deck, in each suit, you've got the ace is illustrated, and then the court cards are illustrated. But the minors are just the pips. So again, the swords. So we have the ace, we have the king, the queen, the knight, and the page. followed by the pip cards. 2, a little bit of illustration on there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. 9, 10 swords. Then move on to the cups. So we have the ace, the king, queen, the knight, and the page. And then onto the pip cards for cups. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cups. And then finally on to wands. So the ace of wands, king of wands, intish looking fella there, queen, the knight, and the page. And then the pip cards for wands. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kind of taking inspiration from the Wizard's Wands from the franchise. Different types of staves that they were holding. Pip cards all the way through to there. So overall the deck feels nice. Feels kind of fairly chunky. That's the backing. I'm just going to see that. Nice tones. Sort of a very autumnal feel overall, I suppose, with those sort of colour palette. Quite solid. It's a fairly thick cardstock, so it's sort of fairly substantial in your hand. All 78 cards. To shuffle, yeah, they're going to shuffle okay. Let's see how well they spread. Yeah, not too bad. May need a little bit of a play around with that. And then we have Page of Rings. That's probably the main departure here, is that instead of pentacles or coins we've got rings, but other than that a fairly recognisable deck, albeit having the pips rather than full illustration. But anybody who is familiar with the sort of Rider-Waite style decks, the classic 78 card setup that most decks are based from and around, this deck should be something you can pick up and begin to use almost straight away, especially alongside the guidebook. This gives a good idea, I think, of what things are. Let's have a look. So the 3 of rings would be the 3 of coins, or the 3 of pentacles, or the 3 of earth, I suppose, depending on the system you like to follow. So just as Aragorn was when trained by Elrond, you're being called to hone your skills. Oh, sorry, the 8's not the 3. The 8 of rings provides encouragement, showing that you're on track. Continue to study, ask questions and practice, and soon you'll master whatever you've set out to learn. And actually, I suppose the way this kind of fold out works, you've got all those rings on that one leaf there, one after the other. I'm assuming that if we fold it over again, yeah, got all the wands, and it actually tells you who's who on the cards. So the King of Wands was Treebeard, Queen of Wands Arwen, Knight of Wands Mr. Tom Bombadil, and the Page of Wands Merry Brandybuck. Welcome to the road. So 78 cards, when spread before you, would create endless paths to endless destinations, inviting you to explore the past, present and future, combining the heroic tales from the Lord of the Rings trilogy with the legacy of tarot. This deck grants you access to your own great adventures. Home is behind, the world is ahead. So, nice looking deck. Lots to spike a bit of familiarity with those who are fans of the book and the franchise films. Nice feel to the deck. Again, some good illustrations, kind of stuff for you to intuit and for you to gain some insight from, as well as that kind of familiarity of the feel of the deck and the structure of the deck, which is nice. So anybody, as I said, who's familiar with tarot and familiar with the standard setup will be able to pick these up and instantly be able to read, use them, as well as to enjoy the artwork. That was Lord of the Rings Tarot by Titan Books. Thank you for watching, appreciate you taking the time. Keep looking out for more unboxing videos. Got a couple more lined up, ready to go. Obviously, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or feedback, pop it in the answers below, or any decks you would particularly like to see me unbox. Then, not that I need an excuse to buy another pack of cards, but let me know. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all soon. Thanks.